Good morning children, hope you all are doing good. So children, in this video I will explain you about the other digestive organs like stomach, small intestine, large intestines. So as I told you in the last video that stomach is a muscular elastic bag that is made up of muscles, and the opening of stomach into the intestine is called pyrolus. So pyrolus is a kind of gate, okay, gatekeeper. So it has a ring of muscle which is called sphincter, which act as a wall so that it can prevent the backflow of the food from small intestine to the stomach. So it basically the kind of valve. Same thing, it secrete gastric juices. So stomach secrete in the inner lining of the stomach secrete the gastric juices. So what is the composition of this gastric juice? So it is a colorless acidic liquid, highly acidic, because hydrochloric acid is present here. It containing water also and some salts also. As I said, that bicarbonate ions are there, NaCl is there, HCl is there, and enzyme pepsin is there. So the same I have explained you in the Zoom class. The composition of gastric juices. So all these composition, all these salts and these strong acids, HCl, makes this liquid gastric juice highly acidic, okay. And it contains an enzyme pepsin. Pepsin is very important enzyme because this pepsin enzyme only degrade the proteins into peptides, or in other words you can say it convert the complex protein into the simpler peptides forms, peptides and amino acid form, okay. Same thing, what is the function of, what is the use of this HCl? So HCl, as you know from the lower classes, it kills the germs that we get from our food, and it activates this pepsin enzyme also, so that the pepsin can break down the proteins and convert it into peptides form. In the peptides form only our body can absorb this protein content, okay. So complex, as you know, complex food substances our body is not absorbing, that's why it has to be converted into a simpler form. So how it performs? So the pepsin is first secreted as a pepsinogen. So you can say in our body, in the stomach, it is present in the inactive form, in the form of pepsinogen, which is activated by HCl. So this HCl, when react with this pepsinogen, it will activate it, okay. So inactive pepsinogen converted into pepsin, active pepsin, by the action of this acid, and this pepsin again, when it converted by the when it become active, then it break down the proteins into the peptides. So remember these two reactions. In this chapter, reactions, how these enzymes are acting upon different compounds and converted it, and how it converted into simpler form, that you should remember, children. The same thing, another protein is prorenin. Prorenin is also present in an inactive form, which is further activated by HCl only, hydrochloric acid present in the stomach, and it this converted into renin, active renin enzyme, okay. So children, we are drinking milk, so our milk protein, which is called casein protein, is present inside the milk, which is in the soluble, but it is not highly soluble. So this renin enzyme, what it will do, it will make it a peptide insoluble form. So it will convert casein into paracasein. So insoluble form it will convert, okay. Otherwise what will happen, our cells will not get the proteins, and it will be solubilized, and it will not benefit our body. And as you know that protein is very important, the milk protein is very important for our growth, for our repairment and development. So this renin enzyme convert this soluble casein into insoluble one, so that our body cells can use it. You should remember, children, the food stayed in the stomach for 3 hours. Okay, and then the bolus, the food bolus converted into chyme. So in the stomach, the food converted from with the action of these enzymes from bolus to the chyme. Now this pyrolus, this first wall, okay, first joining of the stomach and or joining area of the stomach and the small intestine, then it will open and it will allow chyme to move from small stomach to the small intestine. So from the stomach, food or this chyme is going into the small intestine, which is about 7-meter long tube and the width is 2.5 centimeter. It is highly coiled, folded one, and it has the 3 subdivisions. So I have explained you this. I have shown you pictures also. So the first part is duodenum, the upper part of the duodenum, and the common bile duct opens into it. So bile juice goes into this duodenum only. Then jejunum is there. Next part is jejunum. It is nearly it is always empty after death, as is found in dissection and post-mortems. So this part only for post-mortem and all they are doing, the forensic science department, okay, they are using. So how that you will learn in the higher classes. Then ileum is about 4 meters. Okay, so ileum means twist or roll. So it is very highly coiled, this ileum part. And this, so remember duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Then you can see here the inner lining of the ileum contains a finger like projection that is called villi. Okay, so singular is vilus. Okay, so this villi contains some microvilli also. I have explained you, I have shown you the diagram that this is the microscopic structure of the villi, small intestine villi. So here you can say labeling is given. Lymphatic duct is there, artery is there, vein is there, and capillaries are there. So these arteries, vein, capillaries and lymphatic duct together, this region all together, these are called lactear. They will form a lactear. Okay, and this is the outer membrane which is called epithelium. So this is the microscopic structure. So children, this villi is very important. Why it is very important? Because it absorbs only the food material. So the absorption of digested food is going on here only. Okay, lactear part only. So inside the vilus contain, as I said, artery, vein, interconnecting blood capillaries and lymphatic vessels. So you know arteries carry the oxygenated blood, veins carry the deoxygenated blood, and capillaries just passing that. Okay, it is a interconnected capillaries which connect the arteries and veins, and lymphatic vessels, they contain the lymph which contain the WBC. So it helps as a that defense mechanism. Okay, so together it is called lacteal. So remember this lacteal. The small intestine serve both digestion and absorption. So children, you know that the complete digestion takes place in the small intestine and it is the site of absorption. So complete absorption of all the nutrients, carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamins, roughages and others takes place in the villi. Through the villi only all the essential nutrients is taken up by our blood cells. Okay, so it receives the 2 digestive juices. So there are 2 digestive juices, as I said. First one is bile, and which is produced by liver and stored by the gallbladder, and the pancreatic juice which is secreted by the pancreas. Okay, pancreas is our gland in the duodenum. So these 2 goes into the duodenum and then it perform the digestion process. So what is bile? So bile is the, as you can see here, it is a yellowish green watery fluid produced in the liver. So you should remember that bile, it produced into in the liver, and it is transported through the hepatic duct. You can say here hepatic portal vein, hepatic duct. So hepatic duct is basically the arteries and veins of the liver. So just remember this thing. Then children, the hepatic duct, they joined by the cystic duct or a small kind of duct which form the bile duct. Duct like a tube like structure. So through this bile duct, bile tube, the bile, which is a fluid, like we are having the blood vessels. In the blood vessels only blood flows throughout the body. Like this, these bile duct, they flows the bile juice. So they can easily flow directly into the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestine. Okay, and then afterwards temporarily is stored in the gallbladder. So remember, sometimes they are asking where it is produced. It is produced in the liver, and where it is stored in the gallbladder. So the color of the bile is due to the certain, bile is having it is a colored juice because it contains these two pigments, biliverdin and bilirubin. So you should remember the name. How it is produced? So children, our red blood cells are having a lifespan. They have the lifespan of 120 days. So in the 120 days, the old red blood cells dies, and newer our body make the new RBCs. Okay, RBCs. So these dead bodies, so these pigments are basically biliverdin or bilirubin. Basically they are the dead bodies of red blood cells. So remember, these pigments, they are the dead bodies and worn out of the red blood cells. So this liver, it is produced this bile juice which contain the pigment. So it is also called as the you can say that it is a graveyard of the red blood cells. Now it contains a lot of sodium bicarbonate ions. This sodium bicarbonate ion is very important. Okay, it is present in the bicarbonate ion. I told you it is present in the stomach also. What is the function of it? It neutralizes the acid content, because our chyme, that food comes from the stomach, which is highly, you can see here in the second reaction, that chyme is highly acidic due to the HCl. So this sodium bicarbonate convert this acidic chyme into the alkaline chyme, so that it will not damage the cells of the small intestine. Okay, so now children, next point is that bile salts reduce the surface tension of fats. Okay, so bile, what bile do? Bile main function is, what is the main function? They break down the complex fat into simpler fat, or we can say emulsified fat. Okay, so it helps in this process of conversion of complex fat into the simpler fat. It is called emulsification. Okay, so this is done, this first reaction, you can say, fat is with the help of this bile only, the fat is converted into emulsified fat. So this is the emulsification process. Now, so that enzymes can easily act upon it, and so remember these two reactions. And this is the picture of the gallbladder. So here you can see the pancreas. This yellow color is pancreas. This is the gallbladder. So from liver only this bile is coming. Here you can see the hepatic duct is there. These are pipe tube like. The main function of these duct is to transfer the bile from one region to the another region, like our tubes mainly do. So these ducts are basically transfer the bile. So this bile is going into this duodenum part. This part, brown part, you can see this brown part is the duodenum part, which is a part of the small intestine. So small intestine, duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Remember the three names. Biological term you should remember, otherwise you should remember children, otherwise you are not able to see. So I hope you understand this. Next is the pancreatic juice. So pancreatic juice, it is a white juice, and pancreas is a whitish gland. Okay, as you can see here, this grape like structure, bunch of grape like, this is the pancreas, which secrete a pancreatic juice, and this pancreatic juice duct open into the duodenum. So here they are also showing, you can see this here pancreatic duct. So So from this duct, from this this a region only, tube like region only, that this pancreatic juice comes into the duodenum part. Okay, so both bile and pancreatic juice helps in the complete digestion of our food. So this is the pancreatic duct. As I said, it comes into the duodenum. So it contains the three types of enzyme. You can see here, first enzyme is amylopsin. So you should remember the name. Amylopsin is the, you can, in other words, it is written pancreatic amylase. So remember children, in our saliva we have the salivary amylase. So the amylase do perform the same function. Their function is pancreatic amylase also. Amylase enzyme, basically they convert starch into maltose and glucose. So you can easily remember this thing. Okay, so amylopsin or pancreatic amylase converts starch into maltose, and trypsin acts on the proteins and polypeptides. So trypsin is first secreted as an inactive enzyme which is activated by enterokinase, as you can see, and this trypsin convert protein and peptide, which is a complex proteins, converted into smaller peptides and amino acid. This reaction, you know, I told you. So these enzymes are very important. They are present in the inactive form in these juices, and when they become active, they act upon the complex food materials or substances and convert it into smaller one, so that our body or that villi can easily absorb it. Okay, then so remember, this enzyme trypsin is activated by enterokinase. So you should remember enterokinase, or you can easily remember enteropeptidase. This enzyme is secreted from the inner lining of the duodenum, as it is written here. Okay, third one is stepsin, which act on fats. So remember, this amylopsin act on carbohydrate, trypsin on proteins, and stepsin on fats. So fats converted into fatty acids and glycerol. So here you can see amylase function, trypsin function, and stepsin. You should remember proteins converted into peptides and amino acid, starch into maltose, and emulsified fat into fatty acids and glycerol. And remember the enzyme name. Okay, so along with these two, we have the intestinal juice also. So intestinal juice, as you know, it is already present inside the small intestine. It is a small intestine juice. So it contains iripisin enzyme, which convert peptides into amino acid, as you can reaction. Maltase, so maltase is the enzyme which convert maltose into glucose. Sucrase is the enzyme which contains sucrose into glucose and fructose. Lactase enzyme present inside the intestinal juice, which convert lactose, milk sugar, into glucose and galactose. And lipase is an enzyme which convert emulsified fat into fatty acids and glycerol. So these all are the complex, and when these enzymes act upon this or feed on these, it will convert into smaller one. So that in this form, in this amino acid, glucose, galactose, fructose, fatty acid and glucose, in this form our villi can easily absorb these forms of simpler substances, compounds and substances. Okay, so the next step after converting this complex into simpler by different enzymes, next step is absorption of food. So final absorption of food takes place inside the small intestine itself. So amino acid and simple glucose converted into the simpler one, and it is absorbed inside the villi, epithelium of villi. It will reach into the lacteal part. Okay, and through the lacteal part it reach to the liver through the hepatic portal vein. So this is the entry from the villi to the blood vessels and finally into the liver through the hepatic portal vein. Same as the fatty acid and glucose is absorbed by the lymph vessel or lacteals and enter into the lymphatic vessels, and then it passes into our all the body parts. Okay, so this you should remember. and the food passes very slowly through the intestine for 4 hours, and then next destination is large intestine. Okay children, so large intestine I will explain you in the next part. So thank you children, have a nice day, God bless you all.